Hi, Miss CeCe Teneal. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Miss Marjorie?
Doing good. This is Marjorie Waldo from Arts Garage with the fortunate experience of interviewing CeCe Teneal before her show on September 12th in our live stream series, Music at Home Live from Arts Garage. We're so excited about this.
I'm so excited. You know, Arts Garage is I think, let's just say, it is my favorite spot to perform. I mean, so I'm super excited to do this with you and partner and make this successful for our Arts Garage people, my AG people.
I appreciate that so much. And the audience doesn't know this, but we just had a lovely conversation before this interview. And I think there may be some surprises in the works for our audience. So
yes,
we'll keep everybody posted.
Yes, we will.
So you have some pipes, CeCe. You sing like nobody I know. So tell me, how did you start singing? How old were you?
So I just remember, honestly, Marjorie, singing for as long as I can remember. So we, you know, if I had to put a number on it, I would say 5 or 6. I grew up in a little country town called Osteen that's in Florida, you know, less than 2,000 people population. And so all I really knew growing up was church. Like I walked to Sunday school, I walked to, you know, it's 100 steps from my house was the church. So that's really how it all started. And as I grew in this music business, I didn't want to be that singer. I didn't want to pursue that as my career because my mom was a singer and is a singer. She's alive. And she toured with B.B. King and Wilson Pickett and, you know, all of these people. And it left her being away from us. And so I wanted the white picket fence, the marriage, the kids. That's what I thought I wanted, but God always has a different plan for us, right? Than what he laughs at our plans.
That's right.
So that's how it happened. And one day a friend of mine just asked me, she said, for my birthday this year, I don't want you to buy me anything. I just want you to sing in this talent show. And from then on, and I was 21, the bug bit me, and then I just started pursuing and pursuing and pursuing. So it's interesting because most little girls say, I wanted to do this all my life. And my story is exactly the opposite, but God always puts us right where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I think that's very interesting. I think many young people think that they should know what they want when they're in high school. And I did not know what I wanted, and I keep changing my mind. I mean, this is a relatively new career for me. So I think it's really cool that it was organic in your life and that it, you know, that it just took place the way that it did and brought you to where you are, which is often at Arts Garage. And I'm so glad because you are something.
Thank you.
I want to talk with you about the power of music.
Oh gosh.
What you think the power of music is, especially right now, because we're in the midst of a pandemic, the protests related to racial injustice. What do you think the power of music is?
So I think, I mean, if you think back, I mean, I remember one of the civil rights leaders just passed away, Mr. John Lewis, and I remember him, and I won't quote him because I can't, but I do remember the premise behind what he said being that music was really what carried African American people through the civil rights movement, you know? So I think that signifies the power of music in and of itself. But if you take it just a little bit further, every wedding, every birthday party, every time we're happy, every time we're sad, when we want to be uplifted, when we are sad and we want to just wallow in our sadness and cry for a little bit, music is present. It's present in every generation, regardless of what type of music you want to listen to. It's present in every race. It's present everywhere. So I think music really, if we're honest, has the power to unite us if we would just use it. So that's the power that I think music has. And that's what I use it. I try to span the gamut as it relates to genres when I'm singing, because I want to touch so many people, because music is so powerful. I have a notion that my band and I, we abide by 5 or 5,000. And so what that means is 5 people, regardless of race, color, gender, sex, any of that, sexual orientation, 5 people or 5,000 people, you'll get the same show, because everybody deserves to be touched by that musical magic, if you will. So I hope that answers your question, but I think that if we have, music is love to me, and there's a very popular song that says, "What the world needs now."
Yes, ma'am.
Love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. And so if we could just make music and love synonymous, then we have all the power in our hands.
Absolutely. I think the universality of the arts in general, but in particular music, doesn't matter whether you come from a house on a dirt road in Southern Virginia, or whether you are living on the ocean in Delray Beach. You have a background of music. There are breakup songs. There are songs of excitement. You're exactly right. We all share that. We at Arts Garage believe that the arts are transformative, and that they can heal people, can bring communities together, can overcome pandemics, and the anxieties and fears that come along with those things. So I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you.
I suffer with anxiety really, really bad sometimes. But I always can go to something soothing musically that can, that can help me get over my hump. And it's so interesting, because people who say I don't like music of any form, I kind of look at them a little crazy. I'm not a very judgmental person, but I kind of look at them, because there's not a section or a point in my life that I can't pick out a song that was there. And I feel like everybody should be like that, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I will tell you that I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that they didn't like music. They usually have very strong opinions about which types of music they like. Mm-hmm. I know people like that, but I don't know anyone who doesn't have it as a background to their life. Somebody used that. I think it was Nestor Torres in my interview with him. He said music is always a background to everyone's life. There's hold music, there's elevator music, there's music all around us all the time. So
there's soundscapes, there's everything.
Yeah.
Can go back to music. And so I just think that it is a universal language, because you can't play in the key of C. If you're in the key of C, you're in the key of C, whether it's Spanish music, Latin music, whether it's Afrobeat, whether it's jazz, blues, R&B, gospel. When you're in the key of C, you're in the key of C. Yep. It's universal.
Yeah.
It's almost like math.
All the different genres too. I think that we have several artists that we're fortunate to have perform here who feel similarly than you do. So Nestor Torres was here for the Music at Home show last Saturday night, and he played a blues piece. So normally I'm used to hearing him play Latin music or definitely jazz, and it was lovely to see that. So I love seeing how even the different genres speak different things to the performers and the audience. It's really, really cool.
And that's what's going to be interesting about my show, Marjorie, because people are used to this high energy dancing thing. And so what I'm happy to curate with you is a more up close and personal account of who CeCe Teneal is. So we're going to use the piano, we're going to have some background singers, and it's just going to be good old classic American songbook. People can sit at home and they can sing along, right? So I'm super excited to do that. I mean, it's not something that I've done, so I'm super excited about it.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right. So Miss CeCe Teneal, my understanding is that you have opened for people like Regina Bell, Janelle Jones, B.B. King, that you've been on the stage with Buddy Guy.
Yes.
So and I know now that you've told me that your mother was a singer, professional singer who was away from the home because of it a lot. I didn't know that until today. So what would you say your inspirations are? What inspires you to sing or to write? You've performed with all these people. Maybe it's them, maybe it's something else. What inspires you?
So I think that I am more so inspired. Like I told you earlier, I kind of sang in a talent show when I was 21 years old, and it kind of sparked a bug in me. And so as I continued to do music, the inspiration for me is the way it makes people feel, right? So I grew up listening to Aretha. I do an Aretha Franklin tribute show. I grew up listening to B.B. King and Betty Wright and, Shirley Brown and all of these different, blues and so Johnny Taylor, blues and soul greats. But for me, my inspiration and the drive to keep going is when people see me and they see me after the show and they say, you brought me memories of my dad. That song made me think about my mom. Oh, I was going through something. Oh, I haven't danced in a year. I just lost this. Those experiences, knowing that what I'm saying, what's coming out of my mouth left an imprint such as that, is my inspiration and motivation to keep going.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I saw that at work. So I was going to ask you about your fans, but you just answered that really. What happened, you were our headliner for our huge fundraising gala last year before the pandemic. And we did Soul Party. And
yes, you did.
Soul Commotion did this amazing performance for us. And by the end of the night, I don't know if anyone was still seated. Everybody was on the floor dancing. You were full force. And I found out afterwards that you were sick.
I was.
You were not feeling well at all. I had no idea. You connected with this audience, and you do every time you're here, like nothing I've ever seen. Yeah. So it makes sense to me that you say your fans, and more than your fans, but the listener and the response that the listener has to your performance is what inspires you.
Yeah, it is. And I think one of the things that artists today, and this is no judgment, this is just my thing, but one of the things for artists today is that I feel like they get so hung up on the stage, and the people are not on the stage, right? And so I pride myself on getting in the audience with them because I want them to feel like they know me. I want them to feel like I've been there, and I'm not just singing this song because it's a good song. I'm singing this song because it's something that I can relate to. I don't sing songs that I can't personally relate to. And so I want people to see that. I want them to be able to touch me and run into me and, all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I would ever make it as a big, humongous superstar because I just love the people so much.
Yeah. Well, I know that night at our gala, I was dancing with everybody else and you were down in the crowd. I danced with you for a minute. So yes. It is a really exciting experience to be in one of your shows. So yeah. I am excited to see how that energy goes through the internet into a virtual experience for people in their homes. I believe that it will. I know that the feedback we've received so far in the shows that we've done has been really positive, and it changed how people were feeling and they felt connected. And there's nothing better than live music. We know that. There's nothing.
Yes. And I think that with doing this experience, Arts Garage at home, I think it's a testament to who you guys are as an organization, because you do have such strong following, and your artists have, the artists that you bring, there's people that come only to Arts Garage to see those people. And so making sure that we provide that outlet, making sure that you provide that outlet for them at home, I think it's the most admirable thing that any venue can do to make sure that, live music does stay alive, especially because of our demographic. A lot of our demographic, they happen to be, high risk, and we don't want to put them in jeopardy with everything that's going on. So providing them a way to still get their live music fix at home, I think is extremely admirable.
Well, I don't know if it's admirable, but I know that community is super important to us. We are so supported as an organization by our community, by the CRA, who gives us an annual grant, a significant one, by the city of Delray Beach, who gives us a lease on this space that otherwise we would not have the space. By our donors, we have a following of donors who support everything that we do, and just by all of our patrons, because buying tickets to a nonprofit organization's event is a support at a great level. It allows us to continue to do it. So we're committed to the community and to the broad community. My excitement about this series is that we can reach people all over the world.
And let's not, neglect you, Marjorie, okay? Because Arts Garage is amazing. I know you won't take full credit for it, but leadership is a big deal. And so from the artist community, I have to say thank you to you for being an innovator and thinking outside of the box and being willing to take chances on things that don't have a proven track record, right? So we have to give you a round of applause for being that person.
Thank you very much. I know that you guys motivate me. So watching shows and interacting with artists when we plan the shows, it changes my worldview. When we did the From Our Hearts program, we had 55 shows, got over 10,000 views on social media and YouTube, from March 27th through the end of July. We did not charge a penny for people to see it. This new series is monetized because we've got to start bringing revenue into the organization. But the From Our Hearts series was truly from our hearts. And the artists donated their performances.
Oh, wow.
So when we take payment of our artists very seriously, we can't pay what a lot of larger organizations can, but we try to be incredibly fair and show our performers how much they mean to us by being fair with them. And it was hard for me to ask these artists to perform for no fees. Now we're in the process of booking them for this series where we can give them a contract and a payment, and they'll get, first priority. So it's been an incredible opportunity for me. So I appreciate your kind words, but it is this team of people. We're a family here, and I work with an incredible team of people. So I'm very lucky.
I mean, you guys are one of the few venues, and it pains me to say this, but you guys are one of the few venues that actually take really good care of the artists.
Thank you. I'm proud of that.
Yes, me too.
We want you to feel respected and honored when you're here because you bring something to us that we want and need and our audience loves. So
perfect. We
are talking about September 12th at 7 p.m. It is a true live stream from our stage. So you have to be on your couch or on your rug ready to cut it up at 7 p.m. In this case, to sing along a little bit too.
Yes.
And it will not be recorded, so people can't watch it after. So you need to be in your chair at that time with your beverage and your dinner or whatever else you want. Bring your family. You're paying for one ticket for whomever watches with you. And you are going to be talking a little more about the show when you take over our social media.
Yes, I'm super excited about that. So people get to come on live and all of that stuff. Like I can talk to people live right then. That's going to be awesome. And that's going to be on September 7th. So while people are, doing their Labor Day barbecue thing or winding down from that, it'll be perfect to have, come and spend a little time with me on the Arts Garage Facebook page.
Oh, that's awesome. So starting at about 5 p.m., I think.
Yeah,
and 5 o'clock. Monday,
September 7th. September
7th, and that is Labor Day. So a lot of people will be off from work. And like you said, picnicking or beaching, and they can get on social media and share where they are at the time. That's awesome.
Yeah, and they can ask questions, any questions that you might have, or what would be a really good thing is if they have any songs that they want to request, that I'll take some requests during that time as well. I won't sing them then on the 7th, but I'll definitely sing them in the live stream, any requests that you make. So that'll be good to do that. So any questions that you have or anything like that, we can just hang out for a few minutes. So I think it'll be nice.
That's awesome. Miss CeCe Teneal, we cannot wait to see you on September 12th. That's a Saturday night at 7 p.m.
We're super excited.
Thank you so much for taking the time for this interview.
My pleasure, Miss Marjorie. Love you guys.
Love you too. We will see you soon.
Yes, we will.